Happy International Women's Day. Yay!
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Okay, so the birthday list includes Alex Reza and Rosalba Gonzalez, Jasmine Aquino, Irma Rangel, Denise Zarate, Elena, I'm not sure who she is. Anybody remember? In a while? Okay. Michelle Rogel. And those are all of our birthday girls. And boys. Is Alex there, Maria? Where's Alex?
He is in another room, in another meeting on Zoom.
Okay.
Chavez
Just let
committee.
him know we celebrated him, okay? And I guess that's it. We do have Viviana Pinal with us today. We're very happy to have her. We recruited her right away to sell raffle tickets. So we're very happy to have her here. So, and thank you all for joining us on Zoom. It's good to see you.
D or your mom? D or my mom, secretary's report? Yes. He's next. Secretary's report. You should be, and I think this works pretty well. It's just.
Hi, I'm Dia Podaca, and I'm wondering if everyone had a chance to read the minutes that were sent a few days ago by Lori.
Yes.
Yes, everyone had, okay. Did anyone have any improvements? That's always welcome. Suggestions for adding anything that might not have been included? Other than, I'm gonna put Vanessa's name in a little bit. But anything that needs to be added that I forgot? No?
They look good.
They look good. Okay,
Oh, I motion to approve the minutes from last month.
I'll second it.
okay. And I'll approve, raise a hand if you approve it, thank you. Okay, so it was passed, motion passed, okay, thank you.
Yay. Okay. Hi, so next we have the treasury report, but I got a request from Celeste if she could come on early.
Oh.
So wait, yeah, I know, I'm so sorry. She just texted me, Celeste. Huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I like this.
Celeste.
Everyone,
come-
hi,
Okay.
can you see me? Can you hear me?
Hi, Celeste.
Yes. Thanks for seeing my request. I am actually downtown. I finished a meeting, and once I'm gonna finish this meeting in my car on my commute back to the valley to make it in time for dinner. So thank you for letting me go early. I actually, Lori, I didn't get a ton of information from you about what you wanted me to cover or how long you want me to speak, but I'm happy to do whatever you want.
Okay, so what we'd like to do is just give us a little update on how it's been since you have become mayor of the city of San Fernando. We just want like a little update from you, how it's been.
All right, sounds good. So, well, you all know I'm the mayor of San Fernando. What you might not know is that for over a decade now, I've been doing public service. I had worked I actually met Mary Solorio working at the park when we were 18, but I've been doing policy and program development for the state of LA, specifically focused on homelessness and community development for over a decade. And so I was creating a lot of programs and policies that the city of San Fernando never got access to. And I was learning how to navigate resources that the city of San Fernando should have had access to. And so when I ran, it was really with the hope that I could connect more resources to our community and bring those resources there. So as a quick update, I've been in 2 years now. I got in during COVID, which was a very interesting time to serve in political office. It feels like there's a second wind for everybody now that everything is in person, and it's lovely. I would be lying if I didn't tell you it wasn't incredibly hard to juggle a full-time job, a family, and serving on the San Fernando City Council. It's honestly, and I feel like because I'm amongst family here, it's been especially hard recently because we have a new council, and I have found, the political space isn't always nice. And San Fernando stays having its characters, and sometimes they're a little challenging to work with. And I've always worked collaboratively with teams towards solutions for communities. So it's new to me to have it not always be collaborative, and it's unfortunate, but that's just my honest take. Honestly, that sometimes I have hard days, but when we're able to make progress, it's really exciting. So the updates I have are that we have created strategic goals for the city so that we can focus our efforts, particularly around like our budget and just where our staff is focusing time. So you all know, right? I'll tell you a very short story. I went to career day for David, my son, at Santa Rosa for the second graders. And I asked the kids, like, does anyone know what a mayor does? And a little girl rose her hand. And she was like, my grandma wants to call you because there's trash in the street. And I was like, that is exactly what I do. Give your grandma my phone number. But it's everything you see, right? Everything you see and you feel. It's the streets outside. It's the trees. It's that water bill that might rise and you don't know why. Lately, the gas bills we contracted out, but it's always the local government that people look to and say, like, where are the police when I need them? Like, why isn't this pothole fixed? And it's really nice to be able to help meet people and providing those basics because they affect our everyday lives. They affect when we're driving out of our driveway, our feelings of safety, our ability to go to a park that's nice and has amenities that don't have graffiti, which happens a lot in our community. So just recently, like we broke ground, we did a mini groundbreaking for a park that we're going to completely revitalize and on the side of town, like where it hasn't been, it's just been kind of grass and like a small old gym, and it's going to be really exciting that by the end of this year we're going to be able to celebrate a brand new park. And I'd love if Comision could come out for those moments where we're creating these community spaces because they're the small most significant things I think in our families' lives. And I can tell you more, right? We're paving our streets, we're doing everything, but the things I'm most proud of are that since I came in with a background in homelessness and community development, I've been able to help create a homelessness action plan. Up next, we're going to be contracting with outreach specific for the city because we're not being served honestly by the homeless service provider in our area, so that hopefully we can get people connected to resources. We have a new program to help with home loans and refurbishments and first-time home buyer programs, which is something that used to happen back in the day but got lost, and now I'm really proud that we brought it back. When I worked at the pool with Barry back in the day, I remember our residents had to pay $2, and I always remember that the LA pools were free. And I was like, well, why are the LA pools free? It's like, oh, because they had the LA 84 money. They had money from the Olympics back in the day that funded programs. And so now, because I was able to, I know how to navigate some grants, we have offered all of our recreation programs for half off for all residents. And these are like those small little things that I'm just super excited about. And there's more to come. We're going to have a town hall. So if there's ever community things, Olivia, I'm going to make sure you're there. Olivia is my education commissioner. But I think the biggest thing is like, how do we engage our community more in the decision-making process? So we're going to have a town hall about where all the tax dollars are going. What should our budget priorities be for this year? And we just did a citywide survey and got over 1,000 responses, which is really significant for us. That helps people choose like what's most important to you. Like, are we doing well? Are we not doing well? And where do you want to see more? So they're our boss, and it's nice to hear directly from them so that we can do the best job we can do. I think that's my update.
Yeah, thank you, Celeste. We're just so proud to have you as a member. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, it's just great to have you aboard. And we also are excited about partnering and working closer with the city of San Fernando. So whatever we can do and combine and collaborate, it'll be great. I know we're working on a project. I don't know if we're ready to announce it yet. But
I was about to, so thank God you said that.
Because we're not quite there yet, but we are working on something that we're going to collaborate with the city of San Fernando in the near future.
Yeah, and you have Mary and me, so just like leverage us as much as we can help ever. We're here,
Just know that we're right here too with you. So thank you, Celeste. Thanks for giving us an update.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, there's two questions. Oh, sorry. Thank you. There's two questions, Celeste. One, where is the park located? The one that you were talking about, like the renovated one?
Yes, so this one is Lane Park and it's behind First Street. You know that like, I don't know who asked, and if they're familiar with the area.
Alina.
Alina, it's like a little nook behind First Street. You know where Siete Mares is?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a small nook in the residential area. No one goes, I don't think, but you will when you have more amenities.
And you will be giving us more information, keeping us updated, correct?
Yes, and you also can come to the grand opening when it's all finished. Right now, it's just gonna be dirt.
Okay, so we have a second question. It's from Maria Montanez. She asked Celeste, can you speak at my school for Career Day?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh,
There
but
you
I do have can I make a request actually for some help? And I'll bring it back later. But I introduced a language access plan idea because our community predominantly speaks Spanish, or it's their like preferred language at the very least. And none of our council meetings are translated into Spanish. None of the materials are translated into Spanish during council meetings. And so it's almost like we're just not engaging them. And I think I received some resistance, which was shocking to me when I suggested it, but they're going to come back and it's going to need funding. And so if ever there's anyone who's passionate about language access, we could always use support from community members to say like, hey, you know, like don't exclude people from.
Awesome. So the question I have.
The other thing is I'm hoping to do more for criticism for like being a working mom and like not being able to juggle all the things. And so.
Okay, you're breaking up. And there you go. We like that. We like that post. So thank you. I have a question regarding the Career Day, Maria. Maria, is this at Canterbury Elementary School?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so it's my niece. And
Yeah, Jessica's your niece, huh?
yes, Jessica's my niece. So Jessica Perez is a school psychologist there. She's grown up with Comision. And so she reached out to us asking for help with speakers as well. So I'll send it out again. Sounds like that they are still need. I don't know if
I
you
saw the
it.
email, but I wasn't any of the sectors listed because it listed sectors. I was like, oh, I guess,
Yeah.
but I'm happy to. I'm just not an engineer or anything. Cool.
Yeah, you can work with them and see what you can do. I'm sure they'll be open to whatever. Thank you, Maria, for bringing it up.
You're a mayor. That's enough. There, you don't. What do you need more? You're a mayor. I mean, probably one of the youngest mayors in all of LA County history. Give me a break. You don't need an engineer. You got a Latina, Spanglish, whatever, mayor.
Exactly. That's the whole reason why I asked, because we need that positiveness and we need to expose this to the children, because a lot of them, they don't think ahead. They just think that they just want to be, they don't think about college or anything. So that's the thing that we want to bring that to them. And you being a mayor, I mean, that's a big deal, especially in the neighborhood. I mean, even though we are in San Fernando Valley, but we're not in the city of San Fernando. We're in the outskirts of San Fernando, but it's still important for them to be exposed. And for you to actually tell them about your experience, you know, growing up in the Valley and, you know, using your expertise.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that, I'm sure. So Maria, you get back in touch with Celeste and you and Jessica can work with her, I'm sure.
Okay, so Lori, you get her information and then
I will.
just get Jessica. I'll tell Jessica tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right,
We have connections and resources all over the place. Thank you, Celeste. Thank you so much for your update.
Celeste, have you already done your Comision Femenil membership application as a comadre? Don't forget, sign up.
I'm official. I'm official. I have my beret. I'll see you on Friday.
You're good. You're good then.
Okay, now we got to move on with our treasury report.
Yeah, I need that. I have me. I'm sharing the screen anyway. Okay. So you have to unspot. I did. Okay.
But I don't need to keep seeing me.
You go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, oh, that's weird. I did. Can you, everyone see my screen?
No.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I just realized it's cut off a little bit. Let me just move it over. Okay, so for January,
we had a membership, general membership come in with, for Jocelyn Escobar. So welcome, Jocelyn. I think you're on, Jocelyn, correct? I think Jocelyn's on Zoom.
Woohoo! Jocelyn.
I'm so sorry. I'm having dinner. But
No
I'm
worries.
here. I'm listening.
Welcome. So I mentioned at our last meeting that we paid for the conference room, the expense of the conference room through June. So that's what the $150 is for. It's for January through June. And then let's see, also listed, I mentioned last week or last month. So we have the scholarship account and then also the grant account, because that grant money, we wanted to keep it separate. Just to make it easier to see what we have, what our balance is for that, and just to keep the funds separate. So you will notice on these reports that it'll show transfers, because as we pay for things from our general account, I then transfer the money from the grant account. So in our general account, for the end of the month, end of February, sorry, we were left with $33,292.48. Sorry. For the scholarship account, $7,712.80. And I know I always say this, I'm a broken record, but again, that does include the Olga Hernandez scholarship money, which is $4,353. So keep that in mind. We do not have $7,000 to give away in scholarships. It's, that money minus the $4,353 that we actually have. And then in our grant account, again, at the end of February, it was $25,001.49. So you might be wondering how we went up. Don't we go down? But it's just from the deposit dividends at the end of the month. So that's for January. What questions are there for the January transactions? Any questions?
Just a comment on the scholarship.
Uh-huh.
With both scholarship accounts, are you able to just kind of sub-itemize under that so we know how much is for?
Oh, just to show what the Olga Hernandez, I could add that. Yeah, I could add that. I'll make a note to add that for next month, or actually I'll do it for this and I can always send it out. And I know also if anyone, I usually mention this, but if you would like a copy of these reports, let me know and I'll be happy to email them to you. Okay, so that's for the transactions, and then we have the categorized one. Oh, you know what? Actually, there was one more comment I wanted to make. So we also had our, wait, how come I don't see it here? Where's the Amazon Smile? Okay, so as you can see, this is January. No one caught that?
You were just reviewing.
Oh my goodness. I trust you. I trust you to let me know. Yeah, you're all letting me go on talking about January. No, and it's funny because I was like, where's the Amazon Smile? I know it was on here. So sorry, 1 second while I pull up February. All righty. I would blame it on it being Monday, but it's not even Monday. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. So here we see the funds, or the transfers, I should say, just from moving the money from the general account, or I should say from the grant account into our general. So one thing I did want to highlight here is we received the Amazon Smile. It's quarterly, and we received it this month for $66.13. That is no longer available. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Amazon Smile is no longer active because, Amazon is hurting for money. So they can no longer give to charities, right? Yeah, so just so that you know, so thank you to everyone who had Comision listed for Amazon Smile, but unfortunately, it is no longer. So there goes some free money. All right, so this is the February report. So there were a couple of transactions listed here. One of them for the Latina Day tickets that were purchased for $1,500 or $1,510. So again, it'll show on here this transfer because that money was transferred from the grant account into the general account to cover that expense. So here are the right numbers, Dee. For the grant account, we now have $22,476.52. In the general account, we have $30,000, $30,748.69. And then in the scholarship, $7,713.10. And again, I will break this out so that you can see the Olga Hernandez balance listed there.
We don't have a separate account for the grant.
Yes, we have a separate account for the, yeah, that's why it's listed separately here.
So why did you transfer money into the general? Why isn't it a debit into the grant? Because you have to use the general, make the payment first.
Right, the payment, all payments are made from the general account. Yeah,
My question.
yeah, so then money is transferred from the grant account to cover it into the general, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you see under transaction type, it'll say transfer. So you'll never see a direct debit here listed in grant. It'll always say transfer. Yeah. What else? Oh, we did purchase the audio system and the projector, so those are listed here as well. And again, those are all coming from the grant money as well. So I do have a separate sheet that I didn't print out, but I do have a separate sheet that shows from the grant funds, it lists out, it categorizes what money is part of the high school mentor program, what money is part of the scholarship recipient mentor program. And then I just put it under miscellaneous, and that was for the audio system and the projector, just so that we can see what the balance is, what's left, what was spent coming out of those funds. And I see a question in the chat, so let me just check. Oh, never mind. Hello. Okay.
Hello, Claudia.
Hello, Claudia. Okay, so now I can ask, are there any questions on the February?
I have a question, not for the treasurer, but, and I'm sorry I don't know this, but Maggiano's, where is Maggiano's for our scholarship brunch?
It's in Woodland Hills, and Sochi will talk about that when she gives the scholarship committee update.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so these are the transactions, and then as always, we also have the categorized report here. So again, this is just to see, you know, in the different categories for advertising and marketing. We did order business cards. That was $49.53. Again, Amazon Smile. We might get one more payment because it is quarterly, but that would be it. And again, if you would like a copy of this report, I won't go through every single thing here, but if you would like a copy, let me know. I'll be happy to send it to you.
Question about the
Yes.
where are these $100 come from? I thought you just came up with $2,000.
Comes from Olivia.
Oh yeah, the 100. So Martha had I don't know if everyone heard, but Martha had a question for the Silmar Biotech money. So Comision voted and decided that we would give 2,000 because for last year and for this year's budget, we actually budgeted $1,000 to give as a donation, and we did not give anything last year. And so we voted at the last meeting, and it was decided and agreed upon that 2,000 would be given to the students for their project. And then, so the extra 100 was just an additional donation. Any other questions?
Yes, did the children did they get it yet? Did the Silmar High School students get the funds already?
Yes, they did. And the teacher who's leading that group emailed, and they were very appreciative.
That's fabulous.
What is that project?
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. Thank you. So Martha's asking what the projector refund is. So I purchased the projector and we actually used it at last month's meeting. Then I went on to Amazon and saw that a newer model was available for less money. So I called and asked them if I can return, being that it's an open product. I've used it, was very honest. They said, sure, no problem. So I said, great. So I packed it up and I sent it back and I ordered the other one. So we got it at a lower price. So yeah, I didn't think they were gonna take it since it was open, but they did. So that's what that refund is. Just any little bit counts is the way I see it, so. Yeah. Good question.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's,
Do we need to vote?
yes. We need to vote to
We need a motion to approve the treasurer's report. Okay, who wants to do the motion?
It's Martha.
Martha Garcia. Martha Garcia first, Martha Jimenez second. Both Marthas. If there's no other discussion, we'll take a vote. All in favor of approving the treasurer's report for February? Or say aye. Any noes? Any noes? Any abstains? Okay, motion's carried. Thank you very much. Yay. Thank you, and you've done a great job as always. Okay, so now we're going to get to the committee reports. Sochi, you want to start? For sure. I'll just, instead of moving chairs, we'll move this. Okay. There you go. Take it off of me.
Okay. Oh, shoot, that's the wrong.
You want me to show them?
The flyer? Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Sachi, and I'm one of the co-chairs for the scholarship committee with Joanne Moreno and Anita Reese. Joanne's not able to join us today, so I will give her update as well. So for the scholarship update, the applications for both scholarships went live on February 13th. It was 13th, but we did it the Friday before. So they've been open. We've received 3. And we received from 3 different high schools, from St. Genevieve High School, Sylmar High School, and Bond International. So as Comision Femenil, please, please, please talk to your friends at the high schools, any seniors that you know in the Valley that are, graduating and moving on. We need to spread the word. Joanne, who's she's the communicator person for scholarship. She just sent an email out today to all the principals and counselors and in the Valley. So there were about 88 people in the list that she sent it to. And she basically said, we have some applicants that we received from 3 different high schools. We're a month in and we have a month to go. I believe the window is April 7th. And so we need people to get in their applications, not only their applications, their transcripts, and their recommendations. So a full, complete application to be considered for the scholarship are those 3 things. So that's for either of the scholarships. So this is for the Karen Duran that we received 3. And for the Olga Hernandez, we need some help there. We need to get this done this year. And so if you know anybody in a culinary program or is going to go into culinary arts, please put that out to them that they, we have some free money, $2,000 each for these 2 scholarships. You have a question?
Yes.
That for the Karen Duran application, good question. She asked if it's just, Martha Garcia Jimenez asked if it's just for high school students. For the Karen Duran scholarship, yes, it is only for high school students. For the Olga Martha Hernandez scholarship, it is for high school students and people that are already in culinary programs, like in Mission College or junior college. So it's open to them as well. Also, that scholarship is open to girls and boys or any gender. It's open to everybody. So anybody that is interested in culinary arts, I know it's a niche major, but yes, Alina, you have a question. And Rosa, it's for Alina.
this is probably a dumb question, but has anybody gone already to Mission College to talk to the culinary students to see if any of them would be interested in applying for it? Because I'm down the street. Not yet. So basically, if I go in there, if anybody wants to give me a little script and I know that it's for the culinary school, and I'd love to be able to go in there because it's literally on my way to work and on my way home every day, passing Mission College. So if anybody, I know we have a lot of retired people that used to work at Mission College, so go for it. But it's literally my neighborhood, my on my block almost. So I'd be willing to go there and talk to the kids and say, hey,
Alina, I will not only give you a script, I'll go with you. Okay? Okay.
I love my
Rosemary, do you have a question? Yes, I do. You mentioned high school, community colleges. How about the private schools and culinary arts? Cordon Bleu. There's some, those are pretty expensive. We're talking about 40 grand.
Is there something in the Valley? Because in the description of the scholarship, it says it's for a Latina in the Valley.
In the Valley, okay.
Is the Cordon Bleu in the Valley or?
I know there's one in Pasadena and there's one in Hollywood. I don't know about the Valley.
Well, maybe if
South.
Well, if the person's from the Valley.
Yeah.
The person has to be from the Valley. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay, Claudia, did you have a question?
I did, but I think you answered it. It's like either they have to be from the Valley and or go to a school in the Valley, or is it just be a resident from the San Fernando Valley?
I think it's just be from the Valley.
Okay, because I have one of my schools, but they're in like downtown, and they might be going to Mission College, so I thought maybe send it to them. But if they're not from the Valley, they're from downtown LA.
But if they go to Mission College, if Olivia and I are going to go talk to the Mission College students, is the only restriction that they have to be a Valley kid?
Can you pull it up?
But you know what?
Yeah, so they can apply. So this is what I would say. I would say they can apply because we are going to go to Mission College. They can apply. And the selection committee, which are my 3 cousins, they will decide if they want to give that money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if they go to Mission College, I would say why not? But it's up to them ultimately.
Exactly.
So we can ask them and we can send that out. Celeste, you had a question?
Yeah, I was just going to mention another school that we could do direct outreach to is James Monroe High School. I recall they had a culinary arts program, and so I'm not sure if anyone has a contact there now, but it might be a pipeline, right, of students who are interested in that art.
Okay, cool.
Olivia, I graduated from Monroe High, baby. So
me too.
I want to go to Monroe High School and hit up.
There's your second stop. Number 1, you're going with my mom to the Mission College. And number 2, you can go to James Monroe. In between, maybe you'll grab a taco or something. Thank you, Celeste. Thank you for that info.
And I also went to Monroe, so when you go, let me know. Maybe I could go with you.
Okay. I'm writing these, you're volunteering, I'm writing it down.
It's tattooed in your hand.
Exactly. Okay, another thing about the scholarship, how are we doing with readers, Anita?
So we have, on the committee, we have, I believe, 17 people now.
Woo! Okay, cool. So we are good with readers.
Yeah, we
So
have
thank
17
you.
people.
Thank you everyone who volunteered to be a reader. And the next item for scholarship committee is we have a new location for the scholarship brunch, which Anita is going to bring up. And we sent out with the agenda, and I'm sorry there wasn't a description in the email, but This is our beautiful flyer that my husband helped with. We have it booked for, we have Maggiano's Little Italy Woodland Hills. So we chose this place because they had a great menu. It was a comparable price to Northridge. They got back to us right away. Northridge hasn't gotten back to us. We asked 5 months ago. They still haven't gotten back to us. So we thought we had to book something quick, which we did because Woodland Hills gave me, I think, 3 days to decide. Otherwise, they had to open it up for other people to book. So we booked for June 17th at 10 a.m. We have the room for 3 hours. The price is a little bit more, but if you buy your ticket in the month of March, and the reason why we chose the month of March and to give it to us by 4/8 is because that's when all the girls have to submit their applications. So why don't we have to buy our ticket by 4/8, right? So everyone on Zoom and everyone in this room, please buy your ticket early, $35. Buy it for you, buy it for your comadre, buy it for your daughter, buy it for your sister. We have a capacity of 60 people. So that's another reason to buy it early. So we could already say, hey, we're all going. Sorry, you people who were late, you can't come anymore. So hopefully everyone on today's meeting will buy your ticket. You can send an email to contact. Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't update that correctly. Yeah, we'll send it to contact. It's fine. Contact is fine. Contact@comisionfemenil.org. If you have any additional questions, you can call me at 818-398-5153. Oh, that's not my number. That's my mom. So sorry, Mom. Ray's gonna bother
Did that
you.
on purpose.
Everyone's gonna bother you. We'll make sure you have all your questions answered. Yeah, so after the 8th, the price of the brunch goes up $5 to $40. So hopefully you'll all send Anita Venmo, or what other type of payments do we take?
Venmo, Zelle, check.
Venmo, Zelle, check. You can also do it online. If you need to do it online, you can on our comisionfemenil.org page. In the donation page, you just make a note that says it's for scholarship brunch, and you put the amount. And I don't know if we have to pay for this charge. Yeah, that's okay. So again, the price is $35 per person by April 8th. After that, it's $40 per person, and we have until May 12th to get everyone to buy your ticket. And you can mail your check to our PO box, which is on our website on the donation page of the website. Any other questions? Huh?
What is the cost to Comision? I know we usually charge a little more.
It does it by a total. It's,
Yeah,
we have to
we have
spend
to
at
spend
least
$1,200.
Oh.
So that's our minimum break. So that's why we have a capacity of 60 people. So we thought 50 would come. And then we will probably, have their, rent their podium or something like that for our scholarship presentation. We won't need their audio. And we might not need, we don't need a projector. So we're cool there, but a podium would be nice.
Are we in a separate room there?
Yes, we have our own room. And they're very nice. And they even have like a little centerpiece with the hurricane candle, and it's really nice. It's a nice venue. So we thought, why not? When is our Mother's Day tea? We have it in May, and our committee will be meeting soon. Yeah, we're So just to a little snippet, it's in the works. there's discussions on doing something a little different this year. We're not sure yet. That's why we haven't said when we're having our first committee meeting. Thank you for putting that in the PO box, Vanessa. Any other questions? Okay, so let's go. Sorry that took so long. Let's go to the scholarship. Scholarship mentorship program. So I'm just reading from Joanne's email because unfortunately I'm not able to be on this committee, but her update was I'm not able to do that with my scheduling capacity as a mother of two very active kids. I'm lucky I'm here today.
We understand, and you look gorgeous, you know? Top it off. So no, you're doing great. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, Alina. Okay, scholarship mentorship program. This is from Joanne, who's at her niece's last orchestra concert as she is a senior at Cal Poly Pomona. So she couldn't miss it and she had to be there. So I said, you go, girl. Okay, a letter was emailed to all recipients to finalize if they would like to participate in our program. So that's a total of 20 recipients. Our goal is to match the mentees interested in our program at our next meeting at the end of this month. So that's her update. And my mom has her update. Olivia Robledo. No, I'm
Hi, everyone. So we have our 3 schools. We have our principals on board. We have insurance for the year for our mentorship program, both of them, and for our conference. So today we had a meeting. Lori and I met with the district person who's in charge of MOUs. And so she works for the organization. She's an organization facilitator, local district Northeast, and she's under the Student Health and Human Services. So we did a presentation in PowerPoint, and then she was really excited. Like she might be a Comision member. She was like, I'm going to help you guys.
She was really impressed.
Very impressed. And so anyway, she asked a lot of questions about how often would we be on the school grounds, when would we be having activities, who's going to go on the school grounds. So I got the picture that it was the MOUs are for people who enter the school grounds and service the students regularly. An after school program that's there every day with staff. They are under that and they have to get fingerprinted and they go through the whole process of MOU. But what we explained was we would be bringing maybe a speaker once a month, and we would probably be rotating the Comision members that would be on campus, or maybe 2 of us would be on campus. She said, I think we don't need an MOU. You've got your insurance, you got the principals on board. You're going to meet with the parents, and we are going to have the parents sign some kind of a waiver for the release of photos and things like that when we go and take the girls out to these different activities. So she's going to check into it, but that's the last thing she told me. I really don't think you need one. I think you're covering your bases, and you know, you can check in with me. I'll get back to you when I talk to some other people, but that's where it stands. So we haven't picked the mentees yet, but if she is correct, then we can do that within maybe a few weeks. And then the other part of the program is the Latina History Day that we're going to on Friday. So we're taking 19 people. I know it was in the email and you got the breakdown. We're really super excited with all the speakers that are going to be present and the tracks that they offer. So I hope more of us could go next year and the principal said that the girls are all excited too. The only thing about it is it turned out we couldn't go on the bus. And that was because at the last minute, we found out we needed to have waivers to go on the bus with the girls. So we're taking 2 cars, we're carpooling, and we're gonna make it down to the LA Convention Center on Friday. And we're leaving at 6:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And while Lily Fernandez is leaving her place at 5:30 to get to Lori's and so on. So it's, yeah, she lives in Simi Valley. So.
She lives in Thousand.
Thousand Oaks. Oh, Thousand Oaks. Sorry.
Moore Park.
Okay, wherever she lives.
Actually, yeah, Moore Park. So maybe I would just not even bother sleeping.
Exactly. We'll just be up all night.
Yeah, so that's my report. And I also brought, I'm gonna pass it around here. I'm sorry. I think it'd take too much time, but I'm gonna pass around the PowerPoint that was put together by Mary Solorio. Thank you, Mary. I added a slide today and I didn't call you and ask you, but anyway. I don't know if anybody has any questions.
So tell them we can share it to people out. We can share the numbers.
Oh, we can share it with members. Yeah, we could send it to the people that are present this evening. We won't send it to the 100.
But we can send it all to you online.
Yes, we
So
will.
you can see the presentation.
Yes. Okay, so we're going, it looks pretty good.
Yay.
Yay, great job, everybody.
Okay, so thank you everyone for all your reports, and I apologize for running a little late. But we now have a really special guest that made it over here to speak to us from the Alzheimer's Association California chapter. She was recommended to us, or she referred to us by Victoria. Victoria, thank you so much for this introduction. So I don't want to use any more time. Her name is I put down Tina, but it's Taina. Taina. I'm never going to get this right. So I'd like to introduce Taina Wilson. She's a program and education specialist with the Alzheimer's Association. So Taina, can you want to come up here?
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for letting me come and have time with you this evening. And special thank you to Victoria. Victoria and I have known each other and worked together for over 20 years in the past in Girl Scouts. And so it was nice to reconnect. It was also nice to come in and see that every room here on campus has Girl Scouts in it. So that was kind of exciting to see as well. So maybe potential mentors as they come through the program. I'm with the Alzheimer's Association, and really when I talked with Victoria, I was sharing that part of my new job was to do outreach. And one of the things that I'm so passionate about with the Alzheimer's Association is that I made the journey with my mother-in-law who had Alzheimer's. And for any of you that know what it's like to be a caregiver, whether it's a caregiver for somebody with cancer or with any other disease, it's both an emotional opportunity, both a loving opportunity, but without a doubt, it does change your life. And so I wanted to make sure that we could share some information with everyone about the Alzheimer's disease. So I'm going to spend about 15 minutes talking to you about that. And the other thing, I think it's really nice to be here tonight because it's International Women's Group Day, and I can't think of a better group to be with than you all. So I think that without a doubt, it takes a village to do the work that we do as women. It takes a village to make sure that we continue to educate and welcome people in to do the good work that we do so strongly and so proudly as women. So thank you for letting me be here tonight. Just a little bit, just curiosity, and you can raise your hands up in Zoom land too. How many of you have someone in your life that has been impacted by Alzheimer's or dementia? So if we look around, probably possibility. Okay, we'll talk about that. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say no, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but I don't think so yet. I really don't think so. Just to give you an idea, the Alzheimer's Association, we provide everything that we do for free. We know that 1 out of 3 people over 65 have Alzheimer's. We know that unfortunately disproportionately as women, we are more apt to be impacted by the disease personally. If you are a woman of color, Latina, Black American, 2.5 times more possibility. Our male counterparts, unless they're 65, don't quite have the same journey. And we don't know why that is. We don't know, we don't, but we do know that the other facts are very true. The other piece is that we know that it is a disease that you lose someone twice. You lose them throughout the process. As they lose their memory, they lose their ability to do daily activities. They lose their ability to do daily things. As an example, I'll give you an example. People say, how do I know if I have Alzheimer's or not? When you were working on your monthly statement, and you have everybody here just said yes, yes, yes. No one thought that it was that it wasn't
Wrong month.
Now one could say that that was just an honest mistake, and it was. However, if that happened every single day, that might be a sign that perhaps you were doing things differently, something you do all the time so regularly, and it begins to fail. And so we wanted to make sure we could share that information with you. The other piece is that we know that we are all aging, we're an aging population, and that we're going to, the possibility of people having Alzheimer's is going to be triple in 30 years. We know that every 65 seconds, someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's or dementia. And just to kind of give you a broad idea, so we're all on the same playing field, dementia is like is the umbrella of memory loss. There are over 200 types of dementia, and Alzheimer's is the most prevalent. 60 to 80% of people have Alzheimer's. There are other ones that are vascular dementia, frontal lobe dementia. Bruce Willis that has as an example, early onset, someone as young as 45 to 50. And so we're seeing an increase in that. Parkinson's is also a part of the dementia umbrella. And so there are a variety of types, but we do Alzheimer's and other dementia. And the reason that we have other dementias is because as an association, we are the third largest research group behind the United States and China. And so everything that we do is about finding a cure, and we're getting closer. We're not there yet, but there is no cure for Alzheimer's right now. There is medication that slows down the process, but there's no cure. And so we wanted to, we want to make sure that people understand that. The other piece about our work is that we want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to know about us. When we ask people, do you know about the Alzheimer's Association? And they say, no, until they have an issue. And then they say, I wish I would have known. My mother, my father, my sister, my aunt are in the middle stage. And if I would have known beforehand, there's so much that I could have done to help. There's so much that I could have done to possibly make sure that I got them to the doctor soon. And so that's the one ask. I'm going to ask 3 asks of you tonight. But one of the asks is that if you can please share with everyone that you know that if you think there's an issue, and I'm going to give you a cheat sheet of the 10 warning signs so that you'll know to check them off, to make sure that just in case, and your daughter's here so she can help you with this. Which is also very, very important. Sometimes I'm walking around, which is so very, if you want to pass those around, are so very important. The nice thing about the 10 warning signs is that you don't have to all have all 10. But there's simple things. There simple things like, is there someone that that normally balances a checkbook to a T and then all of a sudden can't? Are they forgetting words? All of you that have children and You were saying you can't be on the other committee because you have 2 children and your hands are full. So this will ring true for you. You come in from work and you come in, the kids are busy and maybe someone's watching them, maybe someone's not. If you have pets, the dogs are barking, and someone has the audacity to say, when is dinner going to be on the table? And so you set down your keys as you come in and get through the house and all the noise is going on. And then all of a sudden someone says, we need something else. Can you go get it? And you go to get your keys, you can't find them. That's a normal part of just like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. But when you put your keys in the refrigerator or something like that, or you really can't find them and you can't backtrack to find that, that's a warning sign. If by chance you have, you're not able to remember words, you're not remember people's names, you're not able to problem solve. You're not able to do the things that you always do. So I always tell people that if it impacts your daily life, something that you've always been able to do and you can no longer do it, that's an aha to say, maybe, just maybe, I should ask my doctor. And what happens is when we ask people, why did you not ask? And they said, I don't want to know. And by not wanting to know, we can't catch the disease soon enough. If we can catch it soon enough, when it's in mild cognitive impairment, and there's just a little bit of things happening to your brain, there's medications that we can take that can slow down the process. And what's important about that is that by the time you're in the middle stages of the disease, you can't make decisions for yourself any longer. You cannot decide, you cannot sign a will, you cannot do a power of attorney, you cannot do any of those things. And so then those of us that are taking care of you can't help you in the way that we want to. And so early detection is so important. So I ask you to please share with everyone that early detection is important. If someone is 45 or above and they're having concerns, to ask the question. If you're 65 or above, and have Medi-Cal or Medicare, your doctor is mandated to give you a test. And they don't. And so you can ask, I would like to have my free cognitive impairment test. Cognitive impairment or a cognitive assessment. And it's a simple, there's questions that they ask. They also can do a CAT scan. And that's very important. And you don't have to write any of these things. I mean, you can, if you want to. I'll make sure that Lori has these and we'll send them out to all of you about how to check that. And so that would be one thing I would encourage you to do. The other thing that I would encourage you to do is that if someone in your life has Alzheimer's or is not sure, we don't want them to make that journey alone. It's too hard. There's resources, there are things to help. We do education classes. We do education about the 10 warning signs, about keeping your brain healthy. And I'll go over that in just a minute. About behaviors. What does that look like? When someone has things that are how to help someone when they're having behaviors like wandering. 1 out of 4 people wander when they have Alzheimer's. An Alzheimer's patient will continue to wander until something stops them, a car, a wall, a cliff, because they can't remember where they're going. My mother-in-law, who was an amazing woman, when we knew she was wandering, we put all his shoes away, we hid them in our closet. And she walked down and broke into our closet, and we found her walking around the house with 1 high heel and 1 slipper because she was going to go to the grocery store. That didn't matter because she wanted to go. So there's little, and once they wander, then they can be gone and no one can help them. So we want to be able to stop that behavior as well. Communication is difficult because when you can't think, you stop talking. When you can't have a conversation with your loved ones, it's not worth it anymore, so you stop and you withdraw. When you can't remember what this is called and you just point to it all the time, that's frustrating, especially if you're 65 years old. And yesterday you could, and this morning you can't. And so we talk and train people and caregivers how to do that. We also have classes for caregivers because we know that as women, we are not good about taking care of ourselves. We're very good about taking care of everybody else. And so about how to do that. So we have classes for that. So that's the other piece that I'll share with you. And then lastly, there's a number 1-800-272-3900. I'm going to pass that out. too. I have rap cards that you can take, they're both in Spanish and English, and I'll leave them with you, and you can pass them around, and share them with everyone you become in contact with. And Lori, I'll send them to you, so you can put them on your website if you'd like, or on your information, and to everybody else on Zoom. But we have 24-hour helpline, which is very important. So if you have family and across the United States, if you have family in other countries, and you're here and you're trying to communicate with them and they're somewhere else, the 24-hour helpline is available. Even all of us that have children know that our children never got hurt 8 to 5. They always got hurt after 5 o'clock. The doctor was never available, and you had to go sit in urgent care for 3 hours to just get a simple thing taken care of. Our helpline is always there, and we can help you with information. We have translation in Spanish and English consistently, and then we can translate into 200 other languages. We have education programs, we have support groups, we have a care consultation. So if you'd like to know specifically about your loved one and something like how do I get in-home care? How do I navigate Medi-Cal, Medicare? How do I get durable medical equipment? How do I tell my doctor what I need to know and have my doctor listen? We can help you through all of those things and give you a plan on that. And then we also have information referrals for almost anything. If you like to explore things, to go to our website, put in a word and it will come up, I'm almost positive. And it will take you down a trail of everything that we have as it relates to the disease. The other thing is that we have a medical alert. It looks like this, but it's a little bigger. It's through LA Found. It tracks an Alzheimer's patient if they wander. And so if they do go out of the house and you can't find them, then the sheriff's department works with us and we work together, and we get the information out. They go do the work and get your loved one back home to you. We also have trial match, which is, and this is very important, this is the other ask, is that to get the word out that we need individuals from everyone in our path, because we know that women of color, men of color are marginalized in the healthcare system. Black and brown communities are marginalized in the health care systems, and they cannot get the help that they need quickly. And by not being able to get help quickly, they can't get the medication, they can't get the diagnosis, and then we're down to this end result of not having the best care. And so we have the ability to we want to extend that for trial matches for drugs, to be able to help the disease, slow it down, and then eventually have a cure. So please share that. And then the other piece I'm going to ask is, I lied, I'm going to do 4 asks. There are, I think I counted, there are 15 people online maybe, and 15 people in the room. 25 together. Okay, so 25 people, if all of you would share the information with 5 other people, and those 5 share another 5, and if we could do that for all of March, by the end of March you would have reached and extended our reach to 200 to 400 people. And share the 800 number, because I guarantee you, if you ask someone anywhere, you'll get the same amount of hands that I got tonight. And no one in this room should have to ever think about doing this alone. So if you could share that. And then we also need volunteers. So, and what does that look like? That looks like doing what you already do. And if you're interested in being a part of our organization and getting the word out to communities, we would love that. If you have contacts that you think of where we should go, churches, businesses, we can do lunch and greets where we come in during your work time and do an awareness presentation. And no one is too young to hear about this. High school students who are thinking about careers, and if they're going into public health, and because or social work, to understand that now, that increases their resume. If they're graduating and going to CSUN locally here and want to be an intern with us, that that gives them a heads up on their resume, working with this. So that's all a possibility. So I know I took a little bit more time, but I just wanted to make sure that you have everything that you need. I will send things to Lori so that you can have all of the information, both in a that I shared, and then if you have questions, I'll answer them.
Alina had a question in the chat here. What if you regularly forget about what you're talking about, if distracted mid-sentence?
I would say there's, I'm not a doctor. I will not even pretend to be a doctor. If you're concerned and it happens a lot and you can't backtrack, it's always worth asking the question. But a lot of that is, we know that, again, as I said, we don't always take good care of ourselves. And so when we don't get enough sleep, when you go to sleep, besides just resting, your brain actually works as a washing machine, and it actually cleans itself out and gets all of the garbage and all of the stuff on your brain washed out, so you can think better in the morning. So if you're not getting enough sleep, that's an issue. If you're not eating well, that's an issue. If you're not getting exercise, that's an issue. If you're not doing those three things, and if by chance you are diabetic, your brain can't function. So it's all a part. Our brain is this nice little computer of 3 pounds that works very, very hard. And if it doesn't have a time to rejuvenate by feeding it well, having your heart work well with it, and having it clean out at night and getting rest, that's not necessarily an issue. But I would tell you that if that's ongoing for you, it's worth asking the question of your physician.
She also had the same, or another question, sorry, same person wants to know if you and your program participate in community resource events or activities. And I think she's specifically asking about if you can host a booth on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th at All of You UCLA Medical Center Farmers Market, which is a community mental health community resource fair, 9 a.m. to 2.
It's highly possible that we can do that. Absolutely. So let me give you, I'll make sure that Lori has my information, but I'll put, if you want to type my email into the chat. Thank you. P.E. Wilson at alz.org.
alz.org.
And my phone number is 661-243-3191. And if we can't do it, we can find possibly somebody that can, but definitely, we do community fairs all the time, and share information, and we can, we're a staff of, we have 16 million people in LA County to reach. We cover 7 counties in Southern California. And we have a staff that of myself and other people that are 12 people. So we have a little bit of work to do. And so that's why we rely on volunteers so much. We're building our volunteer organization. We're not quite like that green machine that I came from before, where we were 95% volunteer run. And so we're increasing that risk. But yes, we'd be more than happy to come.
I have a question. So there's a resident in the city that I live in that I met, and her husband has Alzheimer's, and he wanders, and he has that bracelet. What she told me was that the bracelet is trackable through the sheriff's department, but we don't have a sheriff's department in San Fernando. We don't have a system for it. It's only trackable for a certain mile radius or something like that.
So LA Found is the sheriff are the ones that go out. However, they do link with LAPD. And so LAPD can get the information and get it. They can have the helicopter up and running and out. And San Fernando Valley. But they do intersect.
Yeah.
I do know that intersection is bumpy between municipalities. A little bit of proudness going on. I'm not quite sure. I will tell you that we have just started in the last 18 months. We are going out. In fact, I'm doing one in 2 weeks, and we're working through the sheriff's department and we're training all the sheriffs in, understanding Alzheimer's and dementia and within LAPD. And some municipalities and fire as well. And we will go and speak to anyone and train them, but we just have to get the in on that. But we are training them about how to approach somebody that's wandering, because you can't just say stop because they don't know what stop means. You can't say there's a look. If all of you that have the experience of Alzheimer's and dementia, you know what that look looks like. And they have no conceptual idea of space, time, anything like that. And so they will just keep going. And so we're working with them. There is another program, and I can shoot you, if you want to leave me your email, I'll shoot you some information that tracks differently. The other thing I will share with you is that if you have get the bracelet that says, I am an Alzheimer's patient for the person that has it. Make it something comfortable because they will figure out a way to take it off.
Yeah.
They're pretty crafty. And or put it in their, like we did with our kids, you know, in the back of their shirts with their name on it. Put a card, give them a card in their pocket. It's amazing what Alzheimer's patients will remember. And so we do have cards available that say, I am an Alzheimer's patient, or my companion is, please be gentle with them. And then make sure that you have on your phone and or wear an ID bracelet that you're a caregiver for someone, because heaven forbid something happens to you. In an emergency, they can find that and go, someone's at home that has Alzheimer's. You stepped away. You know, they're not at a point where they're critical that they can't be left alone, but you have someone at home that depends on you, and now you're hurt and there's nothing you can do. So that's the other thing I would advise to do. Okay, sure. Anything else?
Question. Are you able to talk a little bit about what kind of medicines are coming out or to develop patients that have Alzheimer's? How to increase or to kind of help them
Sure.
not to get there so completely?
Sure, absolutely. And what I'll do is I'll send you a little update on the medications. There have been 7 medications that have been approved throughout the course since the disease was discovered 100 years ago. Most of them work on a little bit on early stage and a little bit on mid stage, if you would. All they do is kind of slow down the process. However, there is a new medication. Well, there's quite a few in the pipeline right now, but there is one that has been showing some greater significance around, especially if we can catch it in the early stages or mild cognitive impairment. That is actually slowing down the process. It's not stopping the process, but it's doing an amazing job to kind of slow it down. And if you catch it early enough, possibly keep it in that stage. Does that make sense? However, and I'll tell you where to get more information as well on it more deeply, because we could spend all night having a wonderful conversation about it. It is being held back a little bit as far as cost. And so we are taking some strong stands with the Alzheimer's Association to say, no, this has to be approved. This can't be $25,000 pill. And so we're making those strides on that. But this is the first time that that's so exciting about the research that we're doing, and why the walk that we do every year that raises money that we do, all of our money goes to research. And what's so exciting is that we're getting closer. And I feel hopeful that my children, I have 23 and 25-year-olds, it's soon to be 24 and 26-year-olds, that they may not have to worry about the disease, or that their children definitely may not. We're getting closer and closer, and to think that possibly we may have to rewrite our business plan. That we're no longer in the business of talking about finding a cure. And that's an exciting place to be. I mean, I feel hopeful. Is it going to happen next year? No, but I feel hopeful that the window is getting a little bit closer. But if you have a smartphone or an Android, if you go to your app store, you can even do it right now if you'd like. It's the Science Hub Science Hub, HUB, and you can pull it up and it has all our latest research that's going on, all the medications that have been approved, where we are on the process, and what we're advocating for both on the state, local, and federal level as it relates to medication.
Is that app only for the Alzheimer's
Association?
Okay.
Yeah. But it's an international, I mean, it does link to our international research as well, and the international research is going around the world. So you can get a little bit of both.
Any other questions? Anyone? I think we did great. Anybody on Zoom? Any more questions?
Melina, looks like she wrote, and you recommended over the counter, I think when we were talking about medications, maybe.
So over the counter medications, that's, we get, there are so many commercials on TV about brain health and those types of things, Prevagen, yeah. And so I would say that it's always important, and again, I'm not a pharmacist, I'm not a physician, or any of those things. I would, we know the medications that are FDA approved that work, that slow down the process. The other ones I would say to talk to your physician about, and I would ask your question to your physician. I would take your medications that you're currently on and ask your physician, ask your pharmacist about them as well. But that, again, there's nothing that, what we do know that as far as a healthy diet, I can tell you that Mediterranean diet, the DASH diet, very helpful to the brain. If you keep your brain healthy and your heart healthy, you can reduce the risk. There are certain things we can't do. We can't, you know, if you're a Latina woman, you can't change it. You can't change the fact if, you know, just like we can't change when our hair turns gray. You know, that's there's something that's a, you know, we can diet, but we can't diet, you know, we can't do that, right? So, so they're deterministic genes that we don't have any, you know, that we have some control over and some that we don't. But healthy diet, exercise, and getting socializing, not isolating. Isolating is quicker to kill you than a pack of cigarettes is. And so we know that. And isolation to the brain also does damage. When your brain's not stimulated, it is a muscle, and if it doesn't work, it will die. And if you have Alzheimer's, that brain's already dying anyway. And so the more you can do to build up around it. So is there an over-the-counter cure per se? No. Are there things? I can't recommend them. And so I would tell you to talk with your doctor or your pharmacist.
Well, thank you, Tina. Thank
Sure.
you so much.
Thank you so much. Oh, I heard that if you smell rosemary every day, fresh rosemary every day, that'll prevent Alzheimer's. Have you ever heard of that one?
If you have any information, feel free to contact her directly. We have her information on the chat line. So again, thank you so much. You've been from way out here. I think you're like 5 minutes, 10 minutes away from not far.
Not far enough. Did you say that you would be sending this information?
I will. Yeah.
Okay,
And
because they
actually,
on Zoom they asked if you can email it to them.
These are all scan barcodes, can't stand it, and I know that none of you can, oh my, I know that we can do that. I'll send it, but these are, we'll send these off. These are barcodes that you can scan and they'll take you everywhere. I'll leave these here for everybody else that you can scan them for our help. So we're trying to reduce our waste and use barcodes. So, but I will send these to you as well. So, yeah. This will take you all to our website.
Oh, so just, when I update our website, maybe operation of some sort that in the bigger top, I can also put your website at the bottom.
Absolutely. Sure. Absolutely. And I can send you a barcodes for those two if you'd like, QR code. So.
Thank you. Sure.
This is a very, very planned out methodical operation that's tonight. As you can see,
Have announcements. So yeah, I think we have announcements.
Ambulances, various units out there just to make sure.
Okay, everyone, it's time to put on your boots and go marching. So, Tanya, do you mind, or somebody, there are the flyers. We have these flyers for the Cesar Chavez March for Justice. That's going to take place March 26th, a Sunday. So due to COVID, we haven't had it for several years. So we are now trying to come back, rebuild, and we are very excited, but we need participation. So I brought a sheet that you can't leave the room tonight unless you sign up. And I count 13 people in the room, so I need 13 names. What is it?
Olivia, what time and where?
Yeah, you're committing to going, and I will call you and remind you. That's what this sheet is for. But you who are on Zoom, who are in Zoom, we want as many Comision members as possible. We want to wear our t-shirts, our pink t-shirts, maybe our berets, and really make a presence at this march. And
what time and where? Time and location.
The theme this year, or what we are fighting for, is to support workers' rights, to support public education, and also our undocumented people. We are fighting for a pathway to citizenship and legalization now. We will be meeting at 10 o'clock at the Climate Charter. And we will be walking down Van Nuys Boulevard and turn the corner at Laurel Canyon to the Richie Valens Park. It's 2 miles, and I'm not sure if it's shorter or the same, I'm not sure, but anyway, some of us have participated in the past. We've always had a good time. So I hope for those of you who have not participated in the past will be part of this. We have to find our pink banner. I don't know who has it. Well, I might have it. I don't know. So we have to find our pink banner, wear our t-shirts, and be out there. You know, we have to remember that the fight for justice is you know, continuing. And we know through the tragedy that happened at Half Moon Bay with the farm workers that were working in mushrooms, that they were living in inhumane facilities. And it was through the tragedy, actually, that all of this came out, that they were living in terrible, like, sheds, no running water, no toilets available to individual sheds, that kind of thing. So we call that inhumane. So that's all going to change there because of what happened, right? But I'm positive that in the Coachella Valley, in the San Joaquin Valley, we could find other such places. So I just want to remind all of us that these are the people that, you know, we get our vegetables, fruits, all that beautiful kind of produce. You know, the farm workers are the ones that pick that, and they deserve dignity and justice, and they deserve to be living in housing that is appropriate. And so that's why we have the march, to bring attention to the struggle that continues. And of course, there will be union people there. There will be hopefully high school students, college students, but I want Comision. I mean, we all want, and Alex, he would be the one to be making this announcement. And I know I'm not as good looking as Alex, but he is actually at the Cesar Chavez Commemorative Committee. And that is the committee that organizes this event every year. So I hope you will all consider joining. Then at the Richie Valens Park, there will be a resource fair. And so we have another little flyer, looks like this. And so we can participate there, and there will be entertainment, there'll be some food, a time to gather as a community. And so, you know, let's all come out. And actually, you know, it's really important for us to share this information with other people. every year that we've had the march, we get comments like, oh, well, I just was passing by and I saw a lot of people, but I didn't know what was going on. Why don't you guys get the word out? We do the best we can. You know, we try to get it on the radio. We try to, with the flyers, we pass out flyers at the markets, things like that. We have young people that help us do that, but you know, it's not enough. So whatever you can do to promote this, that would be great. And that is my announcement for us. And so sign that paper.
What time and location? Time and location? Olivia?
You want some of these? Yes, we do. We have some. We have some. Yes, yes, you can take whatever is left tonight, but we can get you flyers tomorrow, like
I don't think they
10,000
could hear
flyers are
us.
going to be delivered to Puebla,
I don't think so
Salud, and
either.
San Fernando. So they need to go out because they're
Maybe
no
they
good in
muted
the
it.
box, right?
But it's
Right.
March
Okay, so
26th,
that's where we can get you some
Sunday
flyers.
at 10 a.m.
Yeah. Okay.
At Brand Park, right?
The Young Democrats. Okay, so the other second announcement. We
Yes,
were
I think it
invited
ends
to
at Richie Valens Park, they actually said.
the San Fernando Valley Young Democrats
in
organ.
Pacoima.
Hello?
Sorry, Olivia, can you hear us?
Yes.
I think she can hear us because I've been asking about time and location and she hasn't heard me. So is it 10 a.m. at the San Fernando
Yes.
Park?
No, not San Fernando Park. At the Pacoima Pacoima Charter Elementary on Norris. And yeah, it's a different location because they're working where we usually used to go Brand Park near the Mission, but the city of LA is renovating the park, or I don't know what they're doing there, but we were not able to use the same location. So we chose another route. Any other questions about the march?
Thank you.
Okay, so we've been invited to do a presentation on Comision. What's it about? Who are we? What are we going to do? So we invite you, whoever wants to attend, to be present. We don't have a location yet, but we do have a date. And it is the 30th, is it the 30th?
March 30th.
March 30th. Yes, I have a young Democrat here. Her name is Mary Solorio. And so we have a couple of people in our organization, Comision, that are part of that organization also. So we're just making that announcement. So it feels kind of good that they've invited us to talk about Comision.
And it's gonna be at the brewery because I'm planning it.
Oh.
So we're gonna have it at the brewery at 6 o'clock.
The
San Fernando brewery.
The San Fernando Brewery.
Yeah. In San Fernando.
I could walk there, yes. She already told me I can't use the car.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
One more announcement.
Yes.
What time? On the 30th at the San Fernando Brewery? What time?
She said 6 o'clock.
6, great.
Oh, they told me 7. I don't know.
Okay, 6
Veronica de Lara told me.
Let me double check. I have it on my.
6 or 7.
Oh,
No, it's 7. Yeah, you're right. 7 o'clock.
no, it's 7 o'clock.
If you go at 6, you could drink a few beers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Can you do
Okay.
that? Oh, you have all of it?
Okay, one more announcement. I'm Martha. I think I know everyone on the phone too. So we're having the Amigasas Descanso Garden event on Saturday, March 18th at 10 o'clock. So far, I have attending Anita, Martha Reese, Eva, Lori, Candy, Olivia. And if I missed anyone, please let me know. Candy's coming to my house. I could drive from Sylmar if anyone else is interested. I could fit a couple more people if you're interested. We plan on arriving there at 10 o'clock. Bring your lunch, your water, and we'll get there. We'll go in together. We don't have to stay together. We could yeah, go on our own, but it'll be a nice event, I think, so.
Prospect Day is for good weather.
Yes, hopefully we have great weather and no rain. Obviously, if there's rain, it'll be canceled.
They
because-
wanna wear the pink shirt that campus.
Yeah, yeah, and if you, yes, Lori, thank you. If you want to wear your pink shirt, please do so. If not, I mean, you don't have to, or just pink, right? I mean, we don't have to wear the logo. So yes, if I miss anyone from that list, please let me know, or, yes.
Thank you. No, too late.
Anyone else? Okay, so that's it. Thank you. Contact me or Lori or anyone on that Comision Femenil email. Yes. I keep fingers crossed for good weather.
I just click, or do you want me to send? Okay, so I think that if no more announcements, we're gonna go ahead and close the meeting, so this way those that have to leave can leave, but we still, oh, one more. Martha?
This is what I'm making an announcement. I'm not sure if you guys like that.
Democratic
Yes, one is April 15, you can't forget that.
presentation.
Pizza Soraya. So if you like to go.
San Fernando. Bureau. Brewery.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. That's right.
Fernando Brewery.
I'll be